Sure. So I found the whole program because I feel like I've exhausted all other efforts. And so after going to conventional doctors and speaking with people and always kind of veering towards like an east-west approach to everything, I knew what I was doing had not been working. So after years of trying to do things the way that I was told to do them, I decided to look for alternate options. And so then I hopped onto literally Google Maps at this case, since I had just moved to my town and wasn't very familiar with everything that was necessarily close by. Typed in my keywords that I thought would help trigger some things. And then from there, this popped up and I was like, great, it's within driving distance. And then I saw like, oh, wonderful. There's an online portion, it can be in person as well. Best of both worlds. Let me give them a call. And from the first phone call, I realized like, these are my people. I have a good vibe in this direction and let's see where it goes from here. But that was the initiative start. I think, well, going into where I was like, all right, I know what I know about, clean eating and our bodies and sort of a more green approach to life and cleaner approach, but I was clearly missing links. And when I started the program, the immediate thing that came into play was the order of how things are done. So instead of kind of doing everything at once and trying to figure out on my own, like why is something working or not working, this was very systematic. And I think having that kind of like mentorship and constant support, but also like a logical approach to everything made all the difference. Because in theory, I knew a lot of it, but I couldn't apply them to myself in the way that they should be applied because I'm not the expert. I was like, oh, I read this, I know this. But how it all comes together was like the biggest missing piece. And so by doing like the plan and going through the various modules as well, I was able to do it systematically enough where it made sense to clean out my diet further, help reintroduce foods. But by doing it in this kind of manner is where we could pinpoint what exactly was working or not working or triggering certain things. And I think that was both eye-opening because I had never had it broken down in such a way.
Yeah.
I mean, being a girl, the immediate achievements, I was always like some weight coming off, brighter skin, feeling more energy. So all those things that contribute to like a more youthful, more vibrant overall appearance, and knowing that that's coupled with things that are happening internally, I think is like the biggest gain because it's not just cosmetic. It's not, oh, I put a new lipstick and so I look better. It's I've done something to my body, which is helping like my skin feel refreshed, my energy levels are higher, and all those things fall into like the way we look and the way we feel every day. So I think those are like the immediate biggest gains. And now it's a process of keeping things going to preserve and enhance going into the future. Yeah, I feel like previously between stress and the hormone levels being out of whack, I knew that these were things that were both out of my control, but I could fix them in a way that wasn't harmful to myself. And by getting everything cleaned up and organized, like with the diet and approach to supplements, the hormonal levels actually helped influence everything else. Because with that, they're like the big base, I think, of everything that had been changing. And so by bringing that back, that also makes me feel more feminine, makes me feel more womanly instead of knowing that, what is happening? I'm approaching 40. Is this? Is it that? How are things, not aligning for me? And to know that I can regain that energy and power within my body, I think is also a beautiful thing and inspiring to keep going. Absolutely. My energy levels have increased because I think I'm sleeping better as well. So with the hormonal issues becoming more balanced as we continue to find that equilibrium, the sleep patterns have gotten better, which then helps my mornings be more effective. So I wake up, I can jump out of bed, get going, have my to-do list. Unless you're saying every mom has a constant running list of to-dos. It never ends. We're constantly on. And being able to have that extra perk to the day and knowing that it's not, a caffeine fix. Like at first I used to say, I can't live without my coffee. If I don't have it, it's going to be a tough day. And now I don't drink it at all and I have more energy than previously. So even those little changes to know that I can go out in the morning, get things done, and not have to take the time to have the ritual coffee, actually gain more time in my day. I think because the system let me down in the past. So after becoming a mother, there were various complications post-labor and questions that I had that weren't answered correctly or not enough time. And only when I brought up, could it be this? Could it be that? Or did my doctors tell me, yes, it is. and me feeling kind of almost betrayed by the system saying, well, why didn't you tell me this ahead of time? Instead of having the sleepless nights and the various health issues that came with it. In my case, it was severe anemia. And I had some of the best doctors, that helped with my labor and helped with my pregnancy and everything. So I felt like, I did everything I could to find the best of the best. And yet there's so many missing gaps. And when I realized my hormones were out of practice, their go-to was, of course, let's put you on a pill, let's do this kind of treatment and the other. And I thought, I don't want to pump my body up with things that are synthetic, or I don't really know the effects or how I'm going to react. I still have to be a functioning mom, full-time parent and working all the time. And I didn't want to experiment in that way, where I knew that my body has the ability to help heal itself, help things, bring them back into balance. And so I thought that's the way we should go when everything else has not proven to be true in my case. Insurance only gets you so far is the first thing I would say. Insurance, in my point of view, is built for a very pre-created group. So they see the kind of averages. Okay, here's what the average person needs, here's what we cover, and everything beyond that is on your own. And when we really think about it, each one of us is completely unique, and the system doesn't look at us that way. And there are other care elements that they don't think about at all in this country and that aren't cared for. And we as women especially have to make up for it and on our own. So if we don't ask them the right questions, if we don't seek the right advice or the right intervention, so to speak, we don't know what we don't know. And when I did realize that there's other things I could be doing that's beyond health insurance, of course I'm going to grasp that, because I know that that's probably something better for me than what the traditional system thinks is good for me, because none of us are average when we really look at it. And it wasn't adapted to us. It's very cookie cutter, and that alone tells me they aren't invested in our health. They're interested in helping patch things together, make us feel better, give us a quick fix, but they don't really care about the full body and how everything is integrated. This is a question I've always grappled with when I first became a mom, because you become completely selfless. And it took years for me to realize that if I don't fill my own cup, I can't be there for my child. And all that, if you're not doing the things that make you better, or at minimum maintain your life and sanity in every way and health, then you're not gonna be there for your child. So in my case, I said, all right, let me do some therapies, let me try to eat better, but it still wasn't enough to make me the mom I envisioned myself being. It was just quick patches, because I'm looking at, daycares and preschools and, extracurriculars come into play as they get older and all these things, and those numbers do pile up. But in the end, how am I going to do all of that and manage everything if I don't help myself first? I don't want to be irritable. I don't want to be groggy, have no energy to be able to run around with my child. So in case, when you think of all those things coming together, you have to invest in yourself. Because otherwise you just become a ghost following your child around. I think also, as a mom, your children look at you and they mirror your habits. So when they see you exercising, they see you eating better, their curiosity is going to peak, and they're going to want to know more about it. So I think being open about what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, in all reality, not only helps you not convince yourself, but re-emphasize why you're doing it for yourself, but also shows the next generation, why it's important to do these things. Because in that way too, they have a different level of respect for you, to see that you're not just constantly giving, but also you can balance what you need to be for them with what you need to provide them on their own as little independent people. So I think overall it's being an example for our children. It's now my son sees me, making certain foods. He wants to participate and help make them or taste them or see, what we're doing and how. So overall, we have to invest in ourselves if we want to be the parents for our children. So even though it takes a little time to, pull together some income and, put it away, but it's the effects in the long run. Better than a quick fix.
It's true. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Or multiple shots of espresso that are only going to crash you later. And if you can have that go through the whole family, I think that's
Yeah.
the golden benefit of everyone being healthy and in it together. So it's not just you having a different diet or a different approach to life. It's, you know, family-wide. I think that's the best approach. And the great thing is the whole team has been so supportive. So any question I had or curiosity or anything, everyone's more than happy to respond, and so quickly too. There's more than enough staff to help answer every question or need. And I think that was great too, even though a lot of it was, you know, virtual, picking up the phone and just calling to get that person on, just to say, hey, am I doing this right? Am I in the right module? Am I doing the right thing? Do I should be taking a supplement? I think that was very helpful to know there is still lots of people involved and cheering and supporting you throughout the process.